here outside Balch Fieldhouse on the day of the uniform unveiling, a day that many Colorado fans have been waiting for quite some time. Ryan Koenigsberg of bsndenver.com, joined by Adam Bunstertiger, the publisher of buffstampede.com. Our first collaboration here. Adam, what was the number one thing you took away from today?
Well, I had heard Mike McIntyre talk yesterday about the fact that they wanted to keep with some of the traditions of Colorado. So even though they were updating their look, they didn't want to get too far away from that. And that's exactly what it was to me. It was like a new, fresh take on their uniforms, but you could still tell this is Colorado, this is the Buffaloes. And that's one thing that JT Galloway, who was a big part of this project, the director of equipment, talked to me about, was the fact that when somebody turns on a Colorado game, he wants them to still be able to identify with what he called the greatest logo in sports versus, and I don't think he meant this necessarily to take a shot at Oregon, but he said we don't want to be that school where you turn on and you can't tell who that team is. And so I think this look, it goes along with that. And I'm not a huge all-white guy, but their all-white uniforms with that helmet are unbelievably fresh. It's a great look.
You heard it from him. Unbelievably fresh. I think one of these things about uniforms is it's so polarizing. For whatever reason, young people and older people can't get on the same page about whether they should keep the tradition or go to something new. And I think Rick George and the team that they put together and assigned to this job really worked hard to try and find something that both parties would like. And coming from, I guess, my younger point of view, I think they're great. All the way, the all silver is awesome. I think there's some awesome combinations that become available to them now with black and silver, and black and gold, obviously. And then that all white is, like you said, unbelievably fresh. It's crisp. It's crispy, clean, I think, as Ken Crawley described it. So when you look at what they went through here and how long of a process was, I think it came out pretty well.
It was a long process. JT Galloway told me one of his first conversations he ever had with Mike McIntyre when he was named the head coach here was about uniforms. From a licensing, merchandising standpoint, you do have to plan out. What's funny is JT Galloway said a few of those designs were a little bit too far out there, that they had to kind of rein in what he said, and he really applauded the Nike designers for kind of their ability to work with them through this lengthy process. And I think you got to give credit to Mike McIntyre and Rick George to have the foresight. I guarantee you when they wake up in the morning, the first thing on their mind is not uniforms, but they understand that it's important to players. They understand that it's important to recruits. It's really part of college football nowadays. And so you can either stick your head in the ground and ignore that, or you can embrace it, and they chose to embrace it.
Well, you got a new giant facility being built behind us over here. You've got new beautiful uniforms to strut out on the field. Maybe next is a new result in the win-loss column.